Today is our day to talk about Greater Richland Area Chamber of Commerce. In the studio with us today, we have Terry Richards and we have Katie Bedward, who are talking about the many great things going on in the Richland Center area and kind of a wrap-up of last month. As we say good morning, ladies. Terry, you're on first. How you doing?
Good morning, Phil. It's always wonderful to be here in the studio with you, and we're just thankful for the opportunity to be able to share all the events and all the things that the Chamber is doing every month with you. So thank you for allowing us to be here.
You're welcome. Was it busy this past month?
It has been a whirlwind. This whole summer has been busy, and the Chambers have many events that we have promoted. We've had many new members that have joined us as well. We are now taking on a different variety of members. We have our typical members, but we seem to be getting a pull from different areas. So we've got a few new real estate agencies. We've got a car dealership. We're working with a homesteader store now in Wyoming Saddle Company. They have some really unique niche businesses in the community. We have our favorite Bailey Paints and Decorating is now a member with us, and Lawn Care Company is a new member with us as well. But what's really been interesting with our membership this last year is we picked up a few like Grace and Rotary and Crime Stoppers, and we are now event promoters as well. So we take whatever project or event that they're working on and we promote that for them. So part of the membership is promotion, and we're really trying to focus as a chamber on promotion of business and community in our community. So,
I can really see that as being an advantage to being a member, because you really get the word out there if you have a special event going on.
Exactly. And so I was the pinch hitter for social media for the 3 months of May, June, and July. But now we've hired Gracie Adset, and she is a paid social media rep for us now, and she is just knocking it out of the park, getting us on Facebook and Instagram. And so I started a bunch of the work in the beginning of the summer, and she's just taking right off with it. And we've done a lot of event promotion, especially with this last weekend's event, the Crime Stoppers event.
Let's get the word on that. Katie, we were just curious on how that went. I was downtown for a little bit, and it looked like it was just loads of fun.
Yes, it was a great event. It was a murder mystery, and it was the first time bringing something like this to Richland Center. It went great. The Crime Stoppers headed it up. It brought in they thought over 300 people to the downtown, which was great. There was a lot of traffic both Saturday and Sunday, lots of people in and out downtown. So many positive comments. So many people loved the shops, loved the downtown, didn't realize how great downtown Richland Center was. Folks that have never been here before. So the feedback was really great from the organization that put it on. They said they'll definitely be back. So that was really great. And a lot of the people in local community, they were really excited to participate. So it was a really fun event. Just to let everyone know, Bow and Arrow was the character who committed the murder. It wasn't Marty Richards.
We didn't want to smear his name or anything.
No. So that's who it was. We just wanted to do a big thank you to the Crime Stoppers for putting this together, bringing it to Richland Center, and everyone else who organized, participated.
Too.
Yep, the actors, the volunteers. I think it's going to be something that we'll probably bring back again next year, and it'll probably just continue to grow.
There's no way of knowing, Katie, but it seemed like it brought in a lot of people from outside the area.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a way to tell, but I think just from the feedback of so many of the comments of like not knowing the downtown and the shops, and really not realizing, again, once you get downtown on the one-way streets and what's down here, instead of just driving through, it was really nice to get so many people to come and stop and stay and shop, in addition to doing, the Crime Stopper event. So I think it was a good event that was a unique niche to bring people that normally wouldn't come here. These murder mysteries, we've kind of learned as we were planning it and being part of it, they have their own group and following that kind of goes around to other murder mystery events. So they look for these and follow them and go to, locations where they are. So these are people who might have never come to Richland Center if this event wasn't here. So it's great to have something that brings people that aren't just here for the bike path or, the river or, a different event that we've always had. So I just think it's nice to see another group of people coming that will likely now come back.
Plus, it plants the seed because maybe they didn't buy anything this weekend, but they've got it logged, and now maybe they'll come back. So.
Yeah, and they'll tell other people, right? Like if they liked it and the great feedback was so good, they'll probably tell other people about Richland Center and how wonderful. And the weather was really nice this weekend. That really helped make the event such a success as well. Having good weather this time of year is really nice for those types of things. So, yeah, it was a great event.
I think also for just the people in our community, it's always fun to have something new and novel, and so it's not the same old, same old. It's something we tried. It was something that's new and brought fresh energy and excitement to the downtown, to the businesses, and to the community as well.
Bow and arrow, any idea who was playing that character? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
All right.
But we'll have to find out.
We'll have to do some more digging. But it was so much fun I was driving through and you see these, you could tell who they were. The characters, they're in bright costumes and things like that walking down the street. And even if you didn't know what was going on, you'd probably stop and inquire about it.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's curious, so they're probably all looking around trying to figure it out.
Well, it's great that it went well. It sounds, that's awesome. Do you have any new board members, Elsa, you want to talk about?
Yeah. So another thing that we've been working on this summer, we got Gracie Adset on board now and helping us out. But now we have 2 new board members, and we're very excited about those as well. We have Tiffany Boyarski, who works up at the high school, and she grew up here in our community, left, and came back. And she really has got a heart and a passion for this community. But what's really kind of unique about her perspective is that she's working with students all the time. And so one of her classes that she taught last year was working with students in the community. And I know she had some of her students working with Marty and tourism and stuff. And so we're excited to bring that engagement of the high schools and the students into the Chamber of Commerce as well, so that we can kind of excite them about entrepreneurship and going into business themselves maybe someday. So we're excited about where she fits on the board. Also, she's going to be helping me finish up that community guidebook. Not quite done yet, but we're really close, and she's going to help me write the last few spots that we need to write and get that to the printer here this fall. So, and then the other one that we have now is Craig Huth, who busy man. So we feel very fortunate to be able to get Craig to be on our board. He has lived here all his life, but he took his family business, a Richland Locker, from a mom and pop shop up to a beautiful retail space now. And they have many employees. They got that beautiful retail space that anybody, whether they are a local or a visitor to the community, they can go in there and they can find, amazing products to buy. They also have the liquor store retail space in there as well. So he brings that connection to the community and also his customer service and retail experiences and his quality products. So we're excited to have both Tiffany and Craig on the board, bringing us new energy, new excitement, and working with us that have been on the board for quite a while. Still have Christy Adset as our president. We got Craig Woodhouse still helping us as vice president. We have John Edgington. Sorry, John, I couldn't remember. A little bit of a brain fog there. John Edgington is our treasurer from Community First Bank, and then Katie Bedward is our secretary, and I've been on the board now just as a board member for about 5 years, and then Kat Schmidt as well, helping with membership. So it's nice to round out our board with 2 new members.
Everybody's busy. Is it hard and difficult to find meeting times?
Yeah, it's hard to, we always have that second Wednesday of the month meeting time, and we all work hard to keep that on our schedule and show up for those meetings unless we have vacation or something going on. But yeah, but we're all dedicated, and we all kind of pick and choose our little projects that are more important to ourselves, so that we're all working together and we all know each other well now, and so it's a great board with real good synergy.
And you have the After 5 program, Katie, which I believe your business is going to host next time, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's a really good event because it's a good way to, one of the big benefits of being a chamber member is like networking and kind of mingling with other business owners. And if you're a newer business, it's nice to meet people and get out there and meet other business members. So the last one we had was out at the VARC building.
Oh, wonderful.
That was a great event. We had a lot of people show up, a lot of members, a lot of community members, and they gave us a tour of the building and all around. And there was 4 or 5 different people giving multiple tours. It was great because there was a lot of things I didn't know that they do and what they have available there. So that was a great event. The next one we are hosting, it's going to be October 1st. It's a Wednesday at the Edward Jones location. And so we're doing kind of like a block party. We're going to kind of close off the street there next to our business between the parking lot and our building. And we're going to set up like a cookout block party. My dad's going to play live music. So we'll have some Bryce Bird Band playing there.
All right.
Always a good time.
You'll need extra security when he shows up.
Right. So we're going to do kind of a like a business after 5 that evening, and we're hoping the weather's good. It's going to be from 4 to 7 for businesses, chamber members, just the local community, and just kind of do like a cookout event, live music, visiting, just in and out kind of thing. But it is nice for chamber members or businesses to host, like VARC or other ones where they can actually show you their business, their factory, their organization, give them tours, or like our business, our office space is kind of small, but if we can do an outdoor event like this, we can still host and have people over and just kind of make it a nice community event. So, and they're nice to have. I think it's great to get people together. We did the morning coffee thing for a while, and that was really nice, but it was early, and this is a nicer event for after hours to try to get some other people together. And we've got a lot of good feedback on it where people really enjoy coming after work, relaxing, and enjoying more of a casual, environment. So it's a really great event.
I know Edward Jones does a lot for the community, too, and behind the scenes, you've been doing a collection for school supplies as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we do that every year before school starts. It's just a school supply drive, and so we just encourage whoever can drop off any type of school supplies to bring in, and we just collect it and then bring it to a local school. Last year, we brought everything to the Ithaca School District, and then the school just divvies it out to whoever they feel is best that it goes to. So, this year we're doing it again. So if anyone has anything that they'd like to drop off, you can just bring it into our office, and then we'll get it all together and get it to a school. I think this year we're going to bring it to the St. Mary's School, and just kind of keep finding different local schools each year to bring it to. So yeah, always thinking of something we can do. I mean, there's always, businesses giving back and doing certain things. So, but we've done this every year. It just seems like it's a pretty fun, easy thing to do. And we get a lot of good support from the community that brings in all kinds of stuff. And, we don't always realize there's lots of kids who don't always have everything. Even just a nice backpack or a lunchbox is something simple that kids really would like to have. So yeah, it's a great event.
We may think we know about your business, but, we don't know everything. So maybe you could give us a little bit of a thumbnail sketch.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we work with a lot of just local families and local community members. A lot of what we do is just planning and preparing people for retirement. And then once they are retired, we want to make sure that they are going to live comfortably and be able to, enjoy their retirement. This time of year, we're kind of working on getting into the fourth quarter. So we work a lot more on planning, tax planning, end of year stuff, making sure we can do any, tax loss harvesting, review plans. But a lot of times our clients are usually people retire the first of the year. So a lot of people that are looking at doing that, we'll sit down and meet with them just to make sure that they're ready. There's a few months out. So we do a lot of just more planning and financial planning and reviewing their plans and tax reviews and just helping them with where they need to be. So it's I want to make sure I can retire, but then also once I am, how can I spend my money appropriately? What's the most tax advantage way to do it? So it's a lot of just, working with their tax person and working with clients just to make sure that they're making the right decisions with their money.
I know you've probably seen it all, but I mean, you can talk the talk in terms of, how do I recoup money from insurance and 401ks and all those kind of things. You can do a lot better than we can.
Yeah. And, one thing that I really wish was easier is letting people know what we do or how we can help them or someone that's in my job. Because people don't know what they don't know. And we run into sometimes where people will do something like take out their 401k without working with somebody and just do a lump sum to themselves, and that costs them a lot of penalty or tax, and they don't know, but they don't know to ask us or ask somebody else. So, we're thinking of ways we can educate the public more with some workshops or some just educational events, because a lot of times it's like, oh, I wish I would have known, and people will say, well, why don't you let us know? And it's like, well, I can't just go around knocking on doors telling everybody everything, but I wish we could. And so it's a lot of those types of things too. It's just knowing what's best, what should I do, even younger, early age. I tell a lot of younger high school, college kids, just call or stop in. Like, we can help you get something set up, even if it's not with us. Like, wherever you're working, whatever you're doing. I mean, kids that I know through my own kids' friends, they'll call me and I'll help them, because the earlier you start, the better you're going to be. But if you don't know, you don't know to do it. So I think a lot of it is just educating. It's kind of funny because I always told my dad I wanted to be a teacher, but I never did. But I still can educate, right, with my job now. So a lot of people can be educated and learn more. And even if they're doing a lot of things right, there's still some things they could be doing differently if they just had someone helping them look at it. So, that's a big area around here I notice, is that I think just educating and helping look at where they're at and what can they do differently, and working with like their tax person and us together, because a lot of what we do and they do like affects each other's stuff. So we do a lot of that too, work with a tax person and try to find out what's best, which I think really benefits then the client in the end. So
why is it important to be a member of Greater Richland Area Chamber of Commerce?
Well, again, it goes back to becoming a part of the community and networking and meeting other people. And so if I'm, on the chamber and I know someone that needs some help with, getting signed up for Medicare, well, I know another person because of the chamber that I can recommend. If I want to see Richland Center thrive and I want to see people drive through Highway 14 and stop downtown, I need to get out there and make a difference myself too. And so I think of, what's the one thing I can do? Well, I can be part of the chamber. I can get involved. And as other business owners, I think that's the same thing too. If you want your business to do better, and if you want the community to do better, join your local chamber and volunteer and help out and make a difference yourself. And then you meet other people. You find things that are going on. You're able to connect and network. And if everyone does well, then everybody wins. And it's just, I don't think there's any reason not to, honestly. I don't know why anybody wouldn't. There's so many benefits to doing it, and the cost of being a member is really minimal compared to the benefits. So it's just a really good community thing, especially in a small community. Sometimes in larger cities and bigger towns, it's harder, I think, to see because there's so many organizations. But in a small one like Richland Center, the chamber is such a big part of the community. It's just a really good benefit.
Well said. Mm-hmm. Terry, anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I feel passionate about solo entrepreneurship. I've created many new businesses on my own, and I love just the excitement about a business. I love the marketing. I love the, making a great product or offering a great thing, and then seeing that flourish. And I think being on the board has helped me a lot as well with, making contacts for our businesses. And I just feel that entrepreneurship is something I'm passionate about. And I know other people in the community are passionate about it as well. And so if they're interested in kind of growing that skill set, they can get involved with the chamber, even if they have a small little business. We've worked with a lot of small businesses at our night markets, and we love to see even those little homebound niche, businesses grow and thrive, and we like to come alongside them and help them.
Even the farmers market, which does really well.
So we did the night markets last year and the year before. We're going to make a little switch with those. Instead of having them at the depot during the summer, we're going to try to work with AD German Warehouse and the 1921 AD Lounge and see if we can bring the night markets inside this fall. And so we're going to have a little mini night market on September 5th. We're not sure how many vendors we'll have at that one yet, but we do have music that night. We have Ann Christopher playing for us. But we're looking for vendors and excitement for the October 10th one. It's a Friday night, and then the November 7th one. And it's nice. So for those vendors that still have farm products that they are selling and harvesting and preparing in the fall, we will have an indoor market area where they can sell that. And so I'm kind of the lead contact on that. So if anybody is interested in being a vendor for the Friday night markets on October 10th and November 7th, they can contact me, private message me through the chamber or through the chamber contact page on the website, and I'd be happy to talk to them. We do have a business sponsor for our music on October. Pratt Funeral Home is going to sponsor our music that night. We are still looking for a business sponsor for the November music. So when we have a business sponsor, the music, it allows us to focus our money and our energy on other things and not having to pay for the musicians. So those business sponsors then get a little bit of social media press and get to share, that they sponsored it. So it's kind of like when Tony does sponsorships of movies at the movie theater for businesses. So we're looking for the same thing with the 80 German building.
Plus, for your markets, it's just going to be nice to be inside after about the weather, right?
Exactly. And then plus it'll bring people into the 80 German 1921 80 Lounge, which would be nice because there's been a lot of great changes on the inside of the 80 German building that a lot of people have not seen. And we now have the Midway Beer Garden as well, which is kind of an outdoor space, but it's sheltered. So a nice breeze blows through there, but we have beautiful seating. So Friday nights are quite lovely at the 80 German building. And so it's just about bringing more exposure to different businesses in town and allowing us to work into the fall when honestly Richland County is having its biggest time in tourism. So, I kind of have this in with the tourism guy in town here. My husband is tourism director. So I know that Richland County, the numbers on tourism go up greatly in September and October. October is our busiest month for tourism in Richland County. And so we need to understand that we're not done with this season yet. Summer may be, turning the page and we might be going back to school, but tourism is just getting better for us this fall. And so he did want me to mention that we do have the Hub City Dirt Drags coming up on October 10th, 11th, and 12th that weekend at the fairgrounds. He's already getting some calls that housing is short that weekend. So if you got something going on that weekend of October 10th and 11th and you don't have housing yet, you may want to work on that a little bit because we're bringing a lot of people to the community with the Hub City Dirt Drags at the fairgrounds. The Wisconsin Motorsport Group is bringing in a large volume of people, again, just like they did in May. Hub City Dirt Drags is also one of our chamber members, and we worked with them on event promotion in the spring. We'll do that again here in the fall.
Awesome. We'll talk about some other events coming up this fall because there are many with Greater Richland Area Chamber. Terry Richards and Katie Bedward are our guests, and we'll be right back. We're here in this portion of the morning show to talk about some of the upcoming fall events with members of Greater Richland Area Chamber. Terry Richards, it looks like quite a few things coming up here as we get closer to September and October.
Yeah, definitely. We're a little more purposeful about the scheduling of things this fall. We heard some frustration last year with homecomings and Center Color Fest and things like that, and Wine Walk and everything all being on the same weekend. So we did, as a chamber, we made a choice that the Wine Walk would be the week prior to Center Color Fest and Ithaca and Richland Center's homecoming. So we were kind of intentional about that. And Katie can talk more about the wine walk.
Yeah, the wine walk this year is going to be September 26th, so always a Friday night, and it's a favorite, I think, for the local communities.
Definitely.
We always
people love to dress up.
Yes, we always have a great turnout for the wine walk. The fall is always the favorite of the two. I think between spring and fall, that one's the most attended. And we started doing themes for wine walk. The last few we did themes. So this year the theme is suits and sequins. Yeah. So it's going to be kind of a fun, like flashy dress up kind of theme. But it's also going to be set up kind of like a board game map. Like Monopoly,
like
but
Monopoly,
not Monopoly, but kind of.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's very much strategically thought out to be like a board game.
Do you give out $200 when I pass go?
Well, there might be some stops like that. There might be some stops.
Free
with
parking
that.
somewhere. Who
Free
knows?
parking. Oh, sure.
Community chest.
You
who
might
knows?
see some people dressed up as characters, like Monopoly characters. There'll be a stamp that everyone will get at each stop with a trivia question about the participating businesses. So just aside from the wine walk on itself, we're going to have some trivia with it. So, Ken Thied is going to be helping us with that, which he's the king of trivia. So it'll be great. There'll be a lot of trivia with questions about the businesses, and then they'll have to complete the trivia. And then the business will stamp that, and once then you can turn it in for a prize at the end. So we're doing a lot more interactive this year. In addition to that, plus the theme and the dress up, and people really get so involved. The dressing up the theme has really been a huge hit for people. They go all out with these themes, so it's really fun to do that. And we have a great wine walk committee: Shelley Ferguson, Jamie Walsh, and Amy Meyer, I think.
Yeah.
Those are the committee that does the wine walk. And so it's great because, us having a chamber board, they're not on the board, but they're a separate committee of community members and board members, or chamber members, that just focus on the wine walk. So they've done a great job. And so that'll be in September. And that's going to be a huge event for us. And there's no home football games that night. It shouldn't interfere with too much of what's going on, so we're just hoping for good weather for that, which will be great.
And in the past, the last 2 years, we've made some big improvements in just the digital sign up. When you come to the depot that night to get your wristband, it's a quick process and well thought out with maps, and so we've kind of gotten pretty good at putting together that event. It's always a lot of fun, and so we're looking forward to a good turnout again this year.
Are you going to have the illuminated parade again this year?
Yeah, so that is not actually put on by the chamber, but that's Center Color Fest. That will be this October 4th, that first weekend of October, and that's a Saturday night. Now that is also Richland Center's homecoming and Ithaca's homecoming, but they will be able to still be part of the parade, and it just might mean they might be a little bit delayed to the dance, but we are not moving Color Fest. My husband put that mandate out right away when we talked about it. He said, "Nope, we're not moving Color Fest. We're leaving it there, and so we'll just all work it out. It'll all come together." But Color Fest parade is the last couple years. The weather's been amazing and beautiful nights, and so many people along that parade route, and everybody getting excited about illuminating their floats and such. And we've had a lot of business members that also take part in that parade, and so we do encourage different businesses, if you've never decorated a float for the Center Color Fest, maybe this year is the year to do it, because it is a lot of fun to light things up with LED lights, and there's so many cool easy lights that you can get with battery packs, and we've had different community groups that have put floats in that parade. So if they're interested, Marty and the tourism website would be where they should go for more information on that. But it's always a huge crowd pleaser when we do that parade. It's a lot of fun.
And it'll be the third Pumpkin Fest this year later on, won't it? This year, Katie?
Yes. Yep. The Pumpkin Fest will be our third annual, which is really exciting to have that still going, and we hope each year to keep, having it grow bigger and bigger. So this year it's going to start October 22nd, which is a Wednesday, and that will start with the pumpkin kickoff, where they come and do their pumpkin pickup. That's always been at the fire department there. People come and can pick up their free pumpkin, and then they're encouraged to decorate it. Now this year's theme is Pumpkins on the Farm. That was the theme, and Elena Muller was the winner of the theme. So that's great to see the kids get involved, and all the schools get to hand out the sheets, and everyone gets a chance to do that. So so you can do, the theme pumpkin, or you can do your own theme. There's all kinds of them. There's princess and fairy tale and scary and scarecrow and all kinds of different themes. So it'll start that Wednesday, the 22nd, and go through October 26th, which is Sunday. And the pumpkins will all be displayed on the courthouse lawn like they've been in the past. And, it's just really encouraging people to come down, walk around, look at all the pumpkins. They're always going to be grouped in the different categories. And then there's always some events, in addition to that. They have some, they had like a mini tractor pull or pedal pull, I think, last year, some live music. And we'll be getting that stuff out as well. But that's another event where the Pumpkin Fest has its own committee, but the chamber is part of sponsoring and promoting, and we're part of the committee, kind of. We help with some of the marketing, social media, and then just heavily promote the event. So it's going to be another great event. Like you said, it's the third year here, and each year it gets bigger and more people involved, and we're hoping again for more good weather and a lot more participation.
Got to get the word out on it now, that's for sure.
Yes,
Terry,
definitely.
you have some fall classes coming up with your business, don't you?
So I'm doing some work. I have a little workshop on the third floor of the 80 German warehouse, where I have stained glass classes. And last night I worked on my schedule for the fall, so those will be coming out soon. If you are interested in the stained glass classes that we will be having, you can send a message through the contact page of the website for 80 German, and I'd be happy to connect them to our newsletter that'll be coming out this week. I will have some classes that'll be just make and take, 3-hour class. You show up and make like either a dragonfly or a fall leaf sun catcher for your window. Very simple. The instruction and the materials are all part of the fees. And then I also have some bigger projects, like a 10 by 10 quilt block idea that I've got going on, and I've got a few others. So if they want to know more about the upcoming stained glass classes, they should reach out to the 80 German website contact page, and I'll get those, and then I'll make sure that they get the newsletter as well, or follow the social media of 80 German, and they can see the newsletter will be posted on that as well on Facebook.
Something very unique, it sounds like.
Yeah. So the space, I'm hoping eventually to add other things, but we're starting out with stained glass. I did a class at the in June, and we had some really neat projects that my students worked on. We met for 3 weeks in a row, and they learned the basic skills of cutting, grinding the glass, foiling, soldering, and then the patina and the finishing of the glass. And it was enjoyable. I loved doing it, and my students got a lot out of it. I can do 8 students at a time for these classes. And then we can only really go do work in that space when weather is kind of permitting. And the summer has been really hot. And if you can imagine, the third floor of the 80 German warehouse is a little bit like an oven. So we haven't had any classes this summer because it's just been really hot. But we're going to start them up now for the fall, and we'll do those through November. The building does retain a fair, comfortable temperature until about the end of November, and then it gets kind of cold for the wintertime. So we're planning September, October, and November classes there. For that. And then the 80 German is also going to be having a big Halloween dance called the Raveyard Dance on Halloween, which is Friday, October 31st this year, which makes it lots of fun. So be planning your costume now and be planning to come to that. It's basically going to be like a rave. We're going to turn that whole first floor into a rave and make it a lot of fun for dancing, and I'm sure there'll be lots of lights and energy and excitement with that as well. So that's some of the things coming up with 80 German.
It's fun to have that building open and,
Yes.
you know, a chance for people to just go in and look around because for so many years it wasn't.
Yeah, and I'm now a docent, so I do tours on Sundays. You'd be just surprised where these folks come from. I've had tours with people from South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, Arizona, Ohio, Buffalo, New York, and some of these folks know so much about Frank Lloyd Wright that I learn more every time I do a docent tour than I think I impart to them. But I find it very fascinating. The building has an incredible history, and it is pretty incredible that building is still standing 100 years later. And now it's got some new energy in it. The 1921 80 Lounge on Friday nights is really a nice place to go to have conversation and fellowship and friendship, where you can sit at a table, maybe have a little music playing in the background, have a glass of wine or a beer, and just kind of finish your week. It's a good Friday night. Back in the day, we used to have happy hours, and I heard just recently that happy hours have kind of gone away, and that's probably good, but it's kind of nice to have a place, a third space like that, where you can meet and connect with your friends and business associates and such. And so that's kind of been filling a need for the locals and for those that are coming to our community. They have some place to go when they come on a Friday, and know that they can have a little bit of music, a little bit of wine, and get to know the community a little bit better.
We've had birthday parties and class reunions.
We
and
have.
A little
It's
bit of
been
everything.
a fun place, yeah.
Yeah. And I think the murder, the whodunit thing
Yes.
actually happened
It
out
started
back,
there,
didn't it?
yeah. Friday night, so, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that was quite decorated out there as well. So it sounded like that was a lot of fun.
It was a good time.
Anything else either one of you would like to add this morning?
The only thing I guess I wanted to mention is we really just encourage feedback. If anyone has any ideas, suggestions, comments, or feedback for us as a board for the chamber, we really encourage it and would like to have any ideas, because that's the only way we can be better, even if it's constructive criticism. We just really want to hear what we can do different or better, or ideas that people want to bring, because there's only 8 of us, so anything more that we don't know outside of us is we don't know until people tell us. So yeah, if anyone knows anything or has any ideas, please share, let us know.
We also kind of see on the schedule there's a little bit of a lull in events at the beginning of November right up to Thanksgiving. Of course, hunting is a big thing in our community, and then all the craft fairs are a big thing, but there's not a lot of events in the first 3 weeks of November. So if you're thinking of maybe trying a new event, or you have an idea for an event that you may feel would work well, maybe talk to some of the civic organizations, and then we can, work with them on event promotion. But tourism wise, when you look at the calendar, there's just not a lot there. And yet we still have a lot of people coming to the community, and we have a lot of, it'd be nice to try some new things. So if you're thinking of trying something new, or you have an idea, that would be a good time to do it.
Yeah, and Marty and I have talked about it too, and people say, there's never anything to do. There certainly are, and I know that the auditorium is going to be a busy place for the coming season too.
Yeah,
so.
and we know they met.
Lots of exciting.
They came to one of our meetings this summer and told us some of the things that they're doing. So we're hoping to do a lot of event promotion with them as well. And I know that they're getting their new seats. Is that
Yep, they're putting them in as we speak.
Yeah.
So
Super
that'll be
exciting.
great to kind of work with them on event promotion as well.
Great. Thanks for coming in today, ladies.
Yes, of course.
You bet. From Greater Richland Area Chamber, Terry Richards and Katie Bedward on this portion of the morning show.